Hey everyone, I'm in the garden bright and early this morning because I want to pull up my potatoes, which look like they're just about done. You may be able to see like I have some that are still, quite a bit green, but they're really looking rough. The leaves are kind of wilty. They have a little bit of blight. And so now's the time to pull them. And I did, if you're curious about when to pull them and knowing if your potatoes are big enough, the easiest way to do this is to actually pull the soil away and dig down a little bit to find the potatoes. So I have one right here that you can see, and these are about the size I like. These are Yukon Gold potatoes, and so I like them to be kind of like that new potato size. I planted these in very early February. We did have a frost that occurred mid-March that actually took these on this side all the way down, and they died. And I thought, oh, okay, they're gone. But like I say, always leave your stuff, see what happens. Well, they regrew and grew potatoes. So I left them in the ground. This side over here, which I'm going to show you in a little bit, they actually were grown at a different time and a different type of potato. With these guys, I actually went to Publix and bought their organic, Yukon Gold mini bag of potatoes, and that's what I planted. Only 2 plants came up, unfortunately, so not the best yield. But as you can see on this side, I did 3 rows. I did a trench-like system, so I took a big forked rake and I kind of dug until I got about 4 or 5 inches deep, and I put the potato, a whole potato. You can cut yours and let them scab over, but I just like putting the whole one. A lot less work. I'm a little bit lazy. But I did 3 rows of those a little bit later in February, closer to almost March. And they had no problems whatsoever, and the freeze did not kill them because they were barely up out of the ground. After I put the soil over them, I took a ton of grass clippings and some wood chips that I chip up in my own yard. I have a huge camphor tree out front. It drops branches all the time. And I have this little home chipper that I found online at Amazon, and I chipped those up and I put a huge layer of that on top before they even started growing. So I didn't wait until they popped up out of the ground. So let's pull these. Now I pulled this one yesterday, so it's pretty much dead. So I'm gonna just pull it aside, and we're gonna do a little digging for our potatoes. Look at that one. That's a great size. I love digging potatoes. It's like finding presents at Christmas. You just keep kind of digging around until you find them all. And I think I'm actually getting into the plant that was next to it. I'm finding a bunch of the little guys. I call those my nibblers because I think they're great for little nibbled potatoes. All right, so I'm gonna pull this guy. Look at that. Look at that. And there's more in the ground. So 1, 2, 3, and then I got a bunch of these little nibbler guys, and then 4, and I see some more. So let me get these guys out of the way. 5, 6, good size. Smaller guy, 6, 7. I don't know if you want to count that because he is small. Ooh, 8. All off of 1 potato. So you can usually average, 9. You can usually average almost a 10-to-1 ratio. Oh, another plant. Didn't think that one would do anything. It's so small, but even this little guy. And you just want to dig around because it can get a little bit deep. I'm telling you, man. This one did really well. And I'm trying to be a little bit careful over here because I do have some cantaloupe over here that I don't want to disturb. Okay. Take another peek around. I kind of abide by the no-till method, but obviously with potatoes you don't really have a lot of choice about tilling. So now what I'm going to do, now that I pulled up those potatoes, I'm going to cover with this grass clipping that my husband got for me yesterday when he cut the grass, because you never want to leave the dirt uncovered. It's like skin. It keeps all of the microbiology life and everything that's in there growing and satisfied, and it doesn't dry out, especially here in Florida. So I'm gonna dig up the rest of this bed and we'll see what we get. So now that I have all the potatoes pulled, and I'm very happy with the harvest. That was only half a bed, only 3 rows, so super stoked about that. But now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this paper bag and this little one, and I'm going to separate my potatoes by size. I'm gonna put the bigger ones in the big bag and the smaller one in the small bag, so that it's just easier to use. You don't take any of the dirt off, you don't wash them off, you literally put them in. I did have a few that had I think it was like a grub damage where they had kind of chewed into some of the potatoes. I'm gonna chop those bad parts off, and that's what we're gonna have for dinner tonight. Hope you enjoyed. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.